And welcome back to the Sunday Community Skirmish, number 147. Once again, I am Nietzsche's Mustache, bringing you here the Skyborn versus the newly found, I believe, Global Router Thralls is the name of this team. For the blue team, we have the Wretched Egg. This is piloted by Gross. Carronade front, with a Banshee and a Carronade on his flanks. His teammate, the Greasy Dream, piloted by Mighty Keb, is a squid with a Gat and Banshee, and another Gat on the rear. For the red team, this is a Skyborn. We have Sunstrom piloting the Reborn, or in this case, the Mighty Morphin Reborn. It's Mobula with Mine Launcher center, Artemis Banshee on the wing, Artemis Banshee on the lower deck, and on the wings we have a Gatling and a Carronade. And then the Galleon Zordon, piloted by Sunstrom. We have Gatling Hwacha Carronade on the port side with Carronade Hwacha on the starboard. I like to call this a bruiser galleon. It's not entirely uncommon. Just want to take a moment to talk about this Mobula, the Mine Launcher Center. This is a common counter for Sunstrom because he pretty much pilots nothing but Mobula, and he'll make slight changes based on what he's going to be shooting at. And he likes to bring a Mine Launcher when he's fighting really aggressive teams, especially squids. He's I don't want to say scared of squids, but he's they are tricky to fight when you're in a Mobula, and his the Mine Launcher usually does the trick for that. It's gonna help box in enemies, and the more aggressive they play, the more damage he does. But in this instance, the Greasy Dream just flies right past him. Starts something's got to start happening here with either the Wretched Egg. There we go. That's a mine landing. A little bit of perma damage going out on the Wretched Egg, but now the Wretched Egg's behind him. He's got the Greasy Dream in front of him. Greasy Dream hits a couple of mines. He's down to basically no perma whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Mobula, the Reborn, which appeared to be in a very bad spot a minute ago, he's now on top of this engagement. Greasy Dream and Wretched Egg having been forced down, actually. They're going to look to reset this engagement from below. Here we go. Blue team re-engaging. Got the Wretched Egg on one side and the Greasy Dream on the other side of the Mighty Morphin Reborn. The pop of the balloon on the Reborn brings him down a little bit. So far, he's not been able to do much about that goldfish, except for very subtle kind of wibbly movements that kind of force the Wretched Egg out in front of him. Now, even though the Mobula is still falling, he can keep the blue team from pushing too hard just by, getting those mines out there. And there, the Greasy Dream hits a mine. You send him a little bit off course, do actually a lot of damage, allowing Banshees and Arts to pick up the kill, which leaves Wretched Egg in a 2v1. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull out of here. His engines should be pretty low from a combination of Arts and the Hwacha and the Carronade coming up from the Galleon. Galleon Arts from the Reborn. Bring his perma health down to about a third. There's another brick. we have the inside of a mountain. Very nice view from the outside to the outside. Meanwhile, armor going down on the wretched egg. It's down to a very small sliver of health. There's no stopping this. Eventually, at this point in time, you might as well reset, because that kind of perma-health, when you go back into an engagement, all it takes is just a scratch, and you're dead. But he's going to try and reverse around the mountain. He's going to get cover, and actually, you know, goldfishes being as maneuverable as they are, as fast in a straight line as they are, he's going to get to cover. He's gonna make it out. But with such a small sliver of health, we'll see what happens in the next engagement. I think has the red team spotted the squid as he moves into this, you know, crack between the mountains and the bridge. I'm thinking if the red team might have seen that, they would have a good idea to go ahead and push on the wretched egg. For a moment it looked like they were going to do that, but they've backed off. They want to, you know, set up this strong position where anything that comes out, they're going to have immediately arcs on them. Greasy Dream repositioning. Actually getting further away from the engagement, but he's looking for a position from which he can get in close and brawl with the red team without getting his everything blown apart on the way in. Either that, or he wants to bait. You know, if he can get himself spotted here while he sets up a pincer, he might be able to get the red team looking one way, so his teammate can come in. And red team here, you know, really glued to this goldfish with very low perma. Good reason for that too, because if they can, if they know that Greasy Dream is trying to set up a pincer here, so they're gonna push on, and they're gonna stick together. You watch this formation. This formation is so tight. And that's really the hallmark of a really good reactive team, is they create a formation and they're just glued to each other. And Greasy Dream makes his way in. He got the pincer he wanted, comes out from the cloud as the red team looking completely the other way. But this gives the Reborn the opportunity to go low and set up his minefield, so the blue team cannot push too terribly hard on him. And here he's got perfect arcs on the fish, and down it goes. Armor break does happen on the galleon. Minimal perma as the result. Greasy Dream's going to try and make his way out here, just push on past the Mobula, get onto his backside. A little bit of Hwacha, most of it goes wide. It's going to try and break the engines on the squid. It does actually slow him down quite a bit in the meantime, but nothing breaks, so those engineers can just give it a whack, and he's going to be good to go. Shots are coming out. Mostly it's just scratch damage. Nothing you can't repair through. He does lose an engine. That's going to throw his steering off. It's going to slow him down a little bit. But he's going to he's got it. He's out. Wretched Egg respawns. Massive separation between the two blue ships, but that's actually kind of what this blue team wants. They want the pincer strikes, where you can try to get the red team looking one way, and then the blue team has an opportunity to have one ship come on behind and be uncontested, where they can use that Gap Banshee or the heavy carronade coupled with a Banshee or a Ram and take out a ship very quickly, just being completely wow. I stop for just a moment to say, is the wretched egg gonna hit that mine? Yes, he does, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he does. Balloons out on the wretched egg. Mostly that is courtesy of the lumberjack, not necessarily the mines. Doesn't stop him from just zooming right over the galleon. But was it the best move he could have pulled? Because that puts him with his rear into Hwacha arcs. His armor goes down and he loses about a third of his health. See, in that instance, might as well just go low. Try to balloon block the arcs. The Zordon gets self-mined. Well, not self-mined. It's, you know, Reborn's the only ship that has mines here. But a team mine. There's self-team mine. Something like that. At any rate. Shenanigans never cease to amaze when mines happen. And Tar. Tar is the other thing where you'll stop and go, really? Really, guys? And having been the subject of many a self-mines, I with you there. But this is a galleon. They've got strong positioning. They're taking very little damage. They don't care. Wretched Egg. It's an old deployed mine. He had the rear of the Reborn, but it doesn't matter because that galleon's just gonna dump Hwacha into him. And this looks like bad positioning by the Reborn because he's so low, but he's gonna force the blue team to come down towards them, where they're gonna have mines deploying right in their blind side. You know, that pilot's not gonna be able to see the mines deploying very low, just beneath them. Watch it going out on the Greasy Dream. It's gonna actually break most of his engines. He's a sitting duck right here. Up until those engines start coming back up. Still got 2 left. There we go. It's 1 engine coming up. He's burning though. So while his engineers are trying to rebuild those engines, he's doing damage to them, just trying to go faster. And he desperately wants a reset on this engagement. So blue team trying to set up those strong pincers, and the red team just denying them at every juncture. Also, I forgot to mention that the wretched egg did go down. I completely missed it, actually. But they've respawned now. They're together. It's time for another engagement. Galleon ram on the wretched egg. Kind of damage did that do? Balloons out on the wretched egg. Mine landing. That's gonna break armor. Nothing there to follow it up. If I'm the red team, though, I'm not too worried about it because there we go. Armored down on the Greasy Dream. They've got their bases covered here. Zordon has arcs on the Squid. There goes the Hwacha. More perma going into the Greasy Dream. That's about down to half. Mobula's got the wretched egg sectioned out. It's hit mines. I believe the heavy carronade is broken. It is very broken. Mines and perma going out on the wretched egg, taking about a third of his perma off. Meanwhile, Zordon just rips through the Squid. As soon as that Squid finds itself in the broadside of a bruiser galleon, it's done, because it's going to have its engines out, it's going to have its balloon out, it's going to be a sitting duck. Armor's going to drop almost instantaneously, and out goes the perma. And the red team wins. So next we should have the Glowwater Thralls going up against the East Chaladon Trading Company in this round robin. First we saw the Skyborn playing against the East Chaladon, and that wound up 5-1. And in this instance, the Skyborn faced off against the Glowwater Thralls. Skyborn won that, so we'll see what happens in the next round in which Glowwater Thralls go up against. the East Celadon Trading Company. And that will determine who goes on to the finals, and that will be a single elimination match between whoever has the biggest points difference in the next match, or following the next match. In other words, whoever lost by the least overall in the next match is going to determine who goes on to the finals.